Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You know, we underpromise and overdeliver when it comes to our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the LeMoyne College Dolphins. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. is Dolphin Time, but I felt like being greedy and I don't want to wait. So Nate Champion is here with me, picture in picture, the men's basketball head coach with the LeMoyne Dolphins. And we are on the heels of what I got to announce and write up on wakeupcalldt.com. You can check it out on the articles tab. And that is that LeMoyne will open up their men's basketball season for the first time ever as a Division I institution, playing on Election Day in the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. against the Georgetown Hoyas. Oh my goodness. So with that being said, I'm like, I can't wear shoes anymore. I keep jumping out of them. So with that being said, I got Nate Champion here with me. Nate, how are we doing?
I'm doing well, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So one, you kept this secret so well. Two, thank God it's finally out there.
Yeah. No, it's been something that's been in the works really for a long time. And then honestly, kind of even before the whole, I guess, whatever you want to say, announcement of Division One, people were, as we led up to that announcement, there were a lot of people that were calling and that we couldn't entertain, but that was one phone number that I kept.
So before the announcement even came, you're saying schools were calling you up saying like, hey, if you guys actually do this, we want in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Was there a lot of phone calls?
I didn't know that many people could get my number, to be honest with you. So
did you ask any of them, like, how did you get my number?
No,
okay.
No. It's not that hard to get. I mean,
well, you know what it is? Your number's easier to get than food from your house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? And I know now to just go through your fiance, because when I met her, she's like, oh my God, come over anytime. We'll cook. She kind of looked at you like, why haven't we had Dan over for food? So I think I'm going through her now. I think that's how this is going to work.
Smart.
So you got not just you have Georgetown, but it's your first ever Division I game in the history of LeMoyne men's basketball. So we're going to look back on this 5 years from now, 10 years, 20 years, 100 years from now, and see that this was the first game. What does that mean to you that LeMoyne Georgetown is going to be that first official Division I matchup?
I think it's a home run on so many levels. I mean, we can start by the first, Division I game in LeMoyne history, which, in its own way is a milestone for the school. And I think the second way to look at it is a Jesuit school. So, that connection that we have with the Jesuit schools in the world really is something that LeMoyne takes great pride in. And when Georgetown called about this possible game, I thought, what better way to start the season and to start our Division I journey than against Georgetown in the nation's capital. I think that'll be a lot of fun, and it should be a great atmosphere as well.
And it's on Election Day.
It is.
How does that all just kind of work out? Tuesday, November 7th, election night in the nation's capital, first game in Division I ever for LeMoyne. I mean, that's special in and of itself that you're playing on election night in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really words that can describe, like, I guess the ways that it affects LeMoyne. It's the right move on every level, to be honest. There wasn't anything where we were looking at that game saying, oh, I don't know. It was almost an absolute, as soon as we worked out the details of, the date and time and all that stuff.
So, and what time, I want to let everybody know too, you'll be tipping off.
I believe 7:00. I'll have to triple check that one. But
okay. So, but we have this nighttime matchup in the nation's capital. So exciting. And I mean, obviously I told you off the air that I've decided that whatever plans could be on November 7th, if there was anything there, it can't be anymore. And if there was or there wasn't, I know where I'm going to be this November 7th. I will be in DC with you, your team, and enjoying this very historic game. For you, are you ready for those lights? Are you ready to? I mean, I know basketball is basketball, but this is Georgetown. This is a big moment. You're going to be the first coach to coach the men's basketball team in a Division I game. So you're stepping into history. And when those lights come on and you're standing on the sideline, we have a historic team in Georgetown, and we have this beautiful and wonderful LeMoyne institution that is making history. I mean, this is painting its own picture in a beautiful mosaic even before the game tips off. Are you ready for those lights?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with us, we prepared to build a roster that was going to be able to compete at a national level. And with the guys that we added to our roster, along with the guys that we have brought back, there's not really a better group of guys that I would want to go into this game with. They work hard, they do the right things, and they're being rewarded for it right now. And as we move forward with our program, that's going to be what we really hang our hat on is the character of our players. And obviously their ability to play basketball is what gets them here, but there's a lot more that goes into a LeMoyne student athlete than just playing basketball. And we really live by our motto here at LeMoyne, and one of those being the LeMoyne way, and one of those pillars being men and women for others, and the guys that we have on our team are a special group. And I'm excited that we get to showcase that group on a national stage. And as far as for me, absolutely, I'm ready. I mean, second youngest coach in the country. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, are you mad that you're not the youngest? Do you want to say something to the youngest coach of the country? I mean, what are your thoughts on being the second youngest D1 men's basketball coach now?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that have to fall your way, and a lot of hard work that goes into it. But I mean, reaching a goal to be a Division I head coach is something that was on my bucket list, and that's only halfway to the end of the list. So there's a lot more work that has to go into it. And like I said, there's not a better group of guys that I would rather go into this season with. So I'm really excited. Our guys have been working hard, and our assistant coaching staff has done a great job as well this summer. And with all the extra tasks that go into transitioning to Division I, their plates have been full, and they've done a great job of responding and putting our program in a great position as well.
Coming here from Nate Champion in this very special Dolphin Dive on the heels of the men's basketball team, stating that they're going to be opening their first ever Division I season on the road at Georgetown Tuesday, November 7th, and having a nighttime game there on election night. Nate, you come in, you get the job, I believe, May of 2019 for your alma mater. You have 2019-20 where you go 19-9. And then 2020, 2021, there's no competition due to COVID. Then 2021, 22, 12 and 15. This past year, 15 and 15, ending at 500. What have you taken away from your 4 years back and 3 seasons as you step into Division I?
I think the biggest thing was just understanding, how to build a program and ways to build it. And I think after the first year and hitting COVID, there were a lot of things that changed that I don't think anybody was ready for. But especially somebody that was, ending their first year as a head coach. And then now you have to embark on a journey of, basically relying on film and cold calling kids and things like that to fill out your roster. And we lost a great group of seniors after that first year, and we've been building it back. And again, a lot that went into building the team that we have now is understanding the type of player that is successful here at LeMoyne, and really focusing in on a few attributes that we think make our student athletes successful here and what makes them successful on the basketball court and going after those guys. And I think that'll be a reflection of the team that we put out on the floor this year.
Yeah, you talk about the team and making sure that with the guys coming back and with players that you have through the transfer portal, as well as, a freshman coming in out of high school, as you were putting this roster together and really seeing it come to fruition. I know you and I've talked about it here, but as we get closer and closer to the season, how would you describe what it looks like and why you believe, like you said, you wouldn't want to go into this season, into D1, into Georgetown with any other group of guys? Why are you saying it? What does it look like?
I mean, I think we just have a complete package of experience, talent, skill, IQ. I mean, there's guys on our team that have experience at the Division I level, different schools, Division II level, high level AAU. I mean, you name it, they've been through it. And I think the guys that we have are understanding, what we're trying to accomplish here at LeMoyne and establishing ourselves as a Division I program that can compete. And they wanted to come here before the announcement to Division I. And so they didn't come here just because we're a Division I program now. And I think that says a lot on them for their character. And we recruited them understanding that there was the possibility of that. But we didn't try to sell that as a reason why you should come to LeMoyne. You come to LeMoyne for success on the basketball court, but also, for a high quality education that's going to take you a lot further in life than just on the court. So, the people that we have here is that type of student athlete that really cares about, being successful on and off the floor.
And you've done some recruiting recently. What has the trail been like with, now, like you said, you had guys come there that wanted to play for LeMoyne before you became a Division I institution. Now that you are a Division I institution, what can you tell me about the recruiting trail?
I mean, it's pretty much the same, to be honest. Identifying players that are going to translate into, successful student athletes here at LeMoyne. And then I think the biggest difference is who you're recruiting against. I mean, you're not recruiting against other Division II programs that are, quality programs in the Northeast, like, the top programs in the NE10 and Division II programs across the country. You're now Division I, and you have to, recruit against those programs. And it just really doesn't change. I mean, it just changes who the offer is coming in from and, who you're recruiting against, really. But I think, for us, really recognizing the players that are going to be successful for us here at LeMoyne and going after those guys and, relaying that message to them.
So to get back to, all this, this group of guys that you have, these student athletes going into this first game against Georgetown, they have a new coach, and Ed Cooley's been the Providence coach for a long time, been in the Big East, spent a lot of years there, didn't get the respect that he necessarily deserved, but maybe more now he's finally getting that, as Georgetown said, hey, stay in the Big East, but come to us. So when you get ready to face off in that matchup with Georgetown on Tuesday, November 7th, as much as Ed Cooley's a known name, this is still going to be some history for him too. What are your thoughts about, going up against Georgetown with their new head coach, and thoughts on Ed Cooley on the opposite sideline?
Yeah, I mean, Ed's a great coach. I mean, he's had a ton of success at Providence, and he's a Big East guy. You can't really beat around that bush. He's someone that's been in the Big East, coached in the Big East, played, so all of that stuff goes, hand in hand. And
yeah,
he has a lot of respect, and I respect him a lot with the way that his guys play, and he'll have them ready to go, and we'll be ready to go as well.
I know that you're keeping the schedule close to your vest, but I will ask you this. As you were assembling the schedule, what were you looking to include? Like, what did you want the schedule to provide for this team and for the fan base?
I think the biggest thing for us was obviously, um, choosing teams that can draw interest from our fans, but also understanding, where we're located and the teams that we have around here, and the like schools that we will see a lot, that surround this area. And it is nice that within 2 hours we can get to about 7 schools, I think it is. So, for us, that's different than when we were Division II. There were only, I think, Roberts Wesleyan was the closest, so that's an hour away. So I think for us, it was really just understanding what we're trying to accomplish, and being competitive, and kind of choosing games that way.
I think we should do the staring contest game. And if I can get you to laugh, then I know that that's one of the teams, but I won't do that to you. So, so something we could do for the future, right? I think there should be a little game show back and forth with you, Nate. We'll figure it out.
I don't know if you'd win though. I mean, I'm 1-0 right now, so
You are really good at it. You're very. I will say that you have a good. I think I have a good poker face. You really genuine. I can vouch for you. You have a poker face that would not let anybody know if you're swinging either way.
Well, I guess I have practice with that. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's you got your game face. That's what you
Yeah.
have. So Georgetown is coming up. We're super excited about it. We know that Georgetown doesn't like a team in this city. But what are your thoughts on that? I mean, Syracuse is that rivalry, right? So the fan base at LeMoyne, people that grew up in Syracuse, people that have come to Syracuse, they know that Georgetown is this adversary. So do you feel like there will already be kind of that emotion because of the people in central and upstate New York hearing about Georgetown? You don't see a lot of Georgetown jerseys or hats or t-shirts anywhere. I think I saw one. I told the guy, I hope you're a visitor. So, what do you think that element does to it? Because Georgetown is not an unfamiliar name to Syracuse natives.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, I think, especially here in Syracuse, anytime Georgetown's mentioned, there's a little cringe that comes after it. But for us, I think it's a great opportunity for LeMoyne, and obviously our rivalry, I wouldn't even call it that, because it's not. And for us, it's a great way for us to kick off Division I, and something that will go in the history books as our first Division I game, which is awesome. But I don't think it, we don't have the storied history of Syracuse Georgetown, and we're not going to get there anytime soon. So with us, I think it's just really being ready for the game, and understanding what it means to LeMoyne, and how it puts really LeMoyne on a national level, and understanding that, and really playing to that, and showing what we can do.
I mean, I think it doesn't hurt. When I posted the news, the excitement was coming from all over the place. That people were, when they saw that logo on the other side, they're amped up about it and really excited for LeMoyne, which is an awesome thing. I'm excited for this opportunity. My final note here is, like you said, one of the things that you wanted was to become a Division I head coach. It's a unique way in that you came back to your alma mater, which was D2, and then as it reclassified, you're now a Division I head coach. So why do you feel like you're ready to lead this program into Division I, number one? And number two, because you and I didn't get to talk about this on the air, your thoughts on the postseason being wide open in the NEC after they changed the rules?
Well, first, on being Division I head coach, and that, I mean, there's a lot of things that I went through, and experiences that I had to go through to put myself in a position to be here. And I think you create your own luck. And for me, it is lucky, but being at LeMoyne, and being my alma mater, it's a place that I know, and I couldn't be prouder to lead us into the Division I realm. And I think, with the group of guys that we have, and the program situated the way that it is, I think there's a lot of room for success there as well. So, for me, I couldn't be happier to be a Division I head coach here at LeMoyne. Coming to school here as a Division II program, taking the job as a Division II program, and understanding the potential that LeMoyne has, and seeing the vision of our leadership, and them trusting me to be the coach here is something that I have great honor in, and I really look forward to leading the program and continue moving it forward and moving that needle forward as we move on. And then what was your second question? Because
The NEC having
oh yeah, I mean, I think it's we talk about in our coaches meetings in the NEC, just one of the pillars is student athlete experience, and for a team not to be able to compete right away and understanding that, I think kind of the turning point there was, well, what student athlete experience are we giving as a conference, and a huge kudos to Noreen, the commissioner, for just trusting in that and sticking to those pillars that the NEC has, and that's why the NEC is continuing to move forward and continue to improve. It's just they're not afraid to do things that are out of the norm and continue to move it forward, which is why you're seeing success there.
Yeah. So, well, I appreciate the time that we got to spend here after the news of Georgetown. I appreciate the game face, poker face, whatever we want to call it. But Nate, if you'll oblige me to stay on screen while I get to say this, and I'm not saying this because you're on screen, but I want you to hear it. You and I got to meet years ago, and really, when you came into the program, I wanted to be right in there at the ground floor. I wanted to introduce myself, and I wanted you to know that I was in your corner. And that was before, the exclusive multimedia marketing partnership. It was before any of that, before D1, well before D1. And, gotten to meet, be around you, be around your staff, break bread with you. And I can honestly say that I'm very proud that not only are you the coach, but that you're bringing us into Division I. I think that what's to come with Georgetown and all the excitement that we have to start off this season and the season in general is going to be great. And you're a good person. You're a good person in our community. You're a hardworking guy. You and I get to joke around, off the air and have some fun. And whenever I get you to laugh, that's always a victory for me. But, I can tell you more than anything else, you want to see good people succeed and you want to see good people rise. And I couldn't have picked a better person. I'm happy that you're at LeMoyne. I'm happy you came back. I'm happy we met years ago. And I'm happy that I always have an excuse to have you on the show because I respect you and I appreciate you and I love what you're doing. So, beyond everything, beyond wins and losses, thank you for being so good to me. And, thanks for helping us make history.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. And, I think there's a lesson I learned pretty young. My great grandma actually told me it's, good people get good things. And if you do things the right way, that's, what's going to come your way, whether it's you have to go through a storm to get to some sunshine, you never know. But I think, the hard work and that lesson that I learned at a young age has just kind of stuck with me. So, for me, I just try to do things the right way and the best way that I can and let the chips fall where they may. But I don't get to be in this seat without understanding, ways to move up and work hard at it. And, doing things the right way has gotten me here. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. But, I really appreciate our relationship that we have and, it'll continue. So.
Yeah, very excited about it. By the way, Drew Valentine, I mean, seriously, dude, you got to be just a little bit younger. That's ridiculous. But I think we should play Loyola Chicago now. I think that's what it should come down to. I see you, Drew. Keep doing good work. But, but as always, Nate, thank you for everything. And if we're getting stuff from our grandparents and from our elders and our family in general, then we're getting it from a good place. So thanks for all that you're doing. And I look forward to what's coming up November 7th. And I look forward to what's coming up with more of the schedule release, which I'm impatiently patient for.
Yeah. Well, when it comes out, you'll know.
Nice. Thanks. Talk with you soon.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks.